What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Up Close. Today we're going to be discussing how to actually get back and recover from failure. I think that's a really important subject to tackle because a lot of people are coming off the back of exams. Mm-hmm. Some people have started their New Year resolutions but may have failed.
Slipped up.
Some people may have had a really bad 2019 and they're coming off the back of all of that, and you know, like we're just here to maybe give them some tips. So what would you advise?
Oh, for tips for failure, I think learning from the fail is a big one. Like actually taking the positive out, because the first thing we do when we fail is all the you just look at all the negatives in the failure. I should have did this better, or this person messed me up, or whatever it is. But if you failed, well, you failed. You got to move on. So you got to take some lessons out of it. Like actually stop and go. Failure is a part of life. You learn more from your failures than your winnings. So this is an opportunity where I can get better or I can crush myself.
But is that something like mental that you do, or is that something where you sit down and actually write down, you know what I mean? Like, how do you go about this learning?
It depends on like your failure. Like if it's exams, then obviously you got to kind of sit down and go, okay, what was it? Did I not manage my time at all? Like I didn't even read the lectures or whatever it is. Is it that? Is it this? If it's something that isn't really that bad, it's more of an emotional thing, maybe trying something out, maybe you get rejected or whatever it is, that's just confidence. And when you think of like, yeah, I can learn more, and you know, it's not the end of the world, you move on.
Fair enough. Okay.
That's one point.
For me, I would actually say that's actually a really good point in the fact that you just, you know, you take some time to actually assess and look at that. Because for me, I would have said pretty much similar, that you assess the situation, you self-assess and say, okay, well, am I doing something that is beyond my means, beyond my capability? Like, or have I set a goal too high? Or is this the right kind of like degree for me? Or are all of these things the right thing for me? Like, it helps you maybe reassess. So failure sometimes is not really a bad thing. It's the way I see it is that it's an opportunity to pause and look back and say, okay, this is the direction that I want to go. Do I want to come back to it or not?
I personally seen people that picked, for example, uni, they'll pick a subject and they'll go study it and they'll fail. And they failed, and there's a lot of reasons why they failed. They didn't put their time in that. But the main reason is they just picked that unit because they didn't know what it was. So they picked it and they had no passion in it at all. So if you went, oh, you failed, don't fail, jump back on, like just do it again, keep going. Yeah. You're just going to go fail again and again and again. But when you do stop to reassess, you go, it wasn't for me, it's not this. And I think that's pretty key. The second one is having that support group, because sometimes you're not able to actually pick them out yourself. You might just be stressed out, depressed in that moment, and you might need a friend to kind of pull you out and go, hey, look, you know what to do right now. So what's stopping you? You might need some friends to kind of pull you out. And I think if I had to add one more on top of that, which kind of links to that, is time, because sometimes you just need some time. Like if you had a really bad failure, sometimes you just need to get your mind off it, go do something else, and then take the lessons and then recuperate and then come back. Because let's be honest, some failures are really large where you need that time. Time heals all wounds, you know?
That's true. And maybe don't take too much time.
Not too much time.
And try and get back on the horse as quickly as possible. I would think that would be like another advice, is get back onto it as soon as you can. Especially if you figured out that, no, this is definitely something I want to do. Yes, maybe I failed. You know, you've just figured out one way that doesn't work, you know. There's always that way that it can actually work. And the quicker you get back onto that horse, the quicker you'll actually figure out.
And don't be scared, because if you're scared, that means you're learning something new. It's something uncomfortable. It's a new zone, and that's what it takes to grow. And if you failed, it means you need to level up. So use that failure and level up.
Absolutely. So there you have it, everyone. Failure is not really a negative thing. It's just the way you look at it. And so hopefully these two advices that me and
I've said that so many times on the basketball court to people after I beat them. Failure's not big of a deal. Don't worry, come back next week, you know.
But they take it negatively.
But the best thing is, like, the ones that actually don't take it negatively improve and come back next week. Absolutely. And then we have this like competition, and you know, and the other ones go away and, you know.
Yeah, so hopefully that may have helped your situation, but inshallah we'll see you next week again for another episode.